And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, number 236.
The who?
The Emergent Gamer Podcast.
Oh, thanks.
I said that.
What's up? I know.
I'm Neo Ayoshi.
I'm Trip Zero.
And this is Felix Hergood.
And we're here another week, another year, talking about video games and all things we do with them.
Still here, still talking. Somehow.
Yes.
I thought I'd start off with the folded arm thing and be standoffish to our viewers.
How's it working out for you?
I don't know. I think they hate me.
You mean our listeners?
And our listeners.
And viewers, because we are on YouTube.
I forgot. Yeah, you can see us right now, just so you know.
We can be
We
listened
go live
to
on
and
Wednesday
watched on
night
YouTube.
to all audio people. Go.
To everyone listening out there,
Yeah.
you may have Felix talk to you in a weird way. He may call you a viewer. He may talk to people that somehow you can't hear. We're trying.
We're trying.
We're trying.
If we ever
We're getting there.
read people eventually in the future who write into the show, we could call them reader mail.
It'll be a dedicated
But it doesn't
section
make sense to
also.
call it reader mail.
No.
What?
I said it'll be a dedicated section as well. It
don't
won't
you
be
just think-
sprinkled in throughout the show?
Sure.
This is an appropriate time to mention to our audio listeners that you can catch the show live. Usually
Yes.
sometime between 7 and 8 is when we start.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesday evenings at Emergent_Gamer on Twitch or Mixer.
And later on YouTube.
And later on YouTube.
We're putting them up on
So
YouTube.
subscribe to the Emergent Gamer on YouTube.
Like those videos.
And I can't stress enough, if you enjoy our show already, please tell your friends. We're trying to spread this grassroots style. Word of mouth, people.
That's how we do it, baby.
Get it out there.
Don't like us. Don't subscribe to us. Just tell your friends.
Tell your friends, please.
Yeah, even hey, rate us on iTunes too. I like that as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
nice.
Rate us on iTunes.
That'd
So
be
we're,
real nice.
we're just ripping off all the advertising right up front.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
We got
episode.
it. We got to
Taking
do it.
care of it now.
We always forget otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind
We're
of
bad
true.
at that.
And we're also trying to grow in 2020, so yeah, it makes sense.
True. It's true. It's good stuff.
I listened to this woman. She does a great podcast, by the way. It's called You Must Remember This.
Mm-hmm.
And the theme is she tells stories from Hollywood from in the past. And
Okay.
every single episode, she starts off introducing herself, and she says, "Join us, won't you?" But she
It's
says
very
it-
inviting,
she's-
isn't it?
Right. So she says that, and she says, "Please tell your friends about the show." That's the only way it grows. She says it in the beginning and the end.
Got to do it.
Every show.
You got to do it.
She says, "Tell your friends." And you know what I did? I started listening to the show because of a friend who told me.
This is what I might start doing.
Yeah.
I might start or write like an end or pre-script just to knock it all out, just to read it out, get it out there real quick.
Yeah.
And just get used to it and just practice.
Not unlike how all podcasters these days make their money on real advertisers.
Yeah.
And they literally read from scripts that they wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, most of them riff
Well,
on their own scripts.
as-
we
at-
record a little something to clip on the end or the beginning of a show.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
play that every week.
Most of
like
them
a
don't,
pre-recorded
though.
one.
Most of them don't. They read them like live.
I've seen it both ways.
both,
yeah.
I've seen it both ways.
Welcome to our live production meeting, by the way. Now that we've hit
True.
the buttons,
Anyway, should we
show.
talk about video games? I
let's
guess?
talk about video games.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Let's talk about you, Felix. What's your surprise?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, because Trip
You
and
guys
I
are
have
you're gonna go back and forth.
we have a
about this
thing.
new
Yeah,
thing.
we got a thing.
So I started bouncing around, and I'm not going to go through all the games, but I've never played it. I got Rayman Legends. That's a game. It is a retro game, but that's not a retro game that I want to talk about that I've played before. I've never
But you
played
gave money for this.
for that one. That was $5.
Got it.
So I got that for $5. Then I started digging through PS Now, and I saw a couple of games. One of them was mentioned on the show. Locke had mentioned the sequel to this, which he said was his game of the year. What was it called again?
Senua's Sacrifice?
No, that wasn't his game of the year
Tarkov.
this year.
His was.
Apex Legends.
No, it was
I
like
don't
an
know,
indie
begins
game.
with a T or something. But anyway, the first one.
Tarkov.
No, the first one they did was Pillars of Eternity. That's what I got. And then there's a second game that he's playing now that's
yeah.
only on PC.
It's not. It's
That I
not
can't get.
Path of Exile, but it's like another Diablo top down.
Yeah. It's
RPG.
isometric.
Yeah.
clicky isometric thingy.
So anyway, so I got that game, and that was free on PS Now. So I got that. And then I downloaded a game called Grand Ages Medieval, which is like basically a rip of Civilization, but it only is in the medieval era. So you build
Okay.
like castles, and like you got to do it faster than someone else if you're playing against a real player. But in my case, I'm just going to play the campaign part.
It's like an RTS.
real-time strategy
yeah.
for sure, but
Cool.
but just in the medieval era. You don't go through all time, and it's very you're micromanaging medieval towns. So I thought that was really cool.
Sweet.
Graphics looked pretty good. It came out in like 2015, and
Okay.
I got that on the PS4. And then lastly, for $15, I bought one of my favorite retro games of all time.
Oh, exciting.
PS2 era, based on a wonderful motion picture that came out the
Okay, I
year
know
I
this.
was born, 1978. I bought The Warriors.
Oh.
Warriors.
Now, I have now bought The Warriors three times. I bought this
Wow.
game 3 times. I bought it on the OG Xbox.
Nice.
I bought a copy of it on the PS2 because I think I could at some point put the No. I don't know what I did. Somehow I played it again on a PS2 copy. Oh, maybe on my PS3? Was PS3 backward compatible?
Only the first
beginning
editions.
models were, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So the original PS3 that I had, that I ended up like selling to Locke actually, that one I originally played The Warriors on PlayStation 2. I have a disc of that. And then lastly, I now bought it on the PS4 because it's sold in the store for $15.
Nice.
Is it just that copy, or is it like redone?
They
in any way?
claim there's some kind of remaster, but I don't know what the fuck that means when they just re-release the same game and it looks exactly
Okay,
the
Something's
same.
just a
better, dude.
re-release.
This is a Rockstar remaster, which is really just release the game and call it remaster.
Yeah.
Cool.
It just runs on a new platform, so it's
It runs on a
remastered.
new platform. It doesn't look any different. It looks exact. It's even got in the. How can it be a fucking remaster when it's still in 4:3 aspect ratio?
I bet
True.
if you went back to the original source, it would look better.
Maybe. Sure.
It's all the
Okay.
all
Keep in mind the
mental
TVs
trickery.
also were different. Like the non-HD era, games just looked way different.
Yeah,
and now
very
you
true.
see like the blemishes and the flaws now that you see it in HD. We got all these.
That's true. It did kind of hide
Fancy
some texture
screens.
problems.
So, this game, even though it looks shitty, holds the fuck up. Like it is still
What kind of a game is it?
okay. So it's okay. First off, it's the best movie to video game adaptation I ever played, because not only does the game allow you to play the movie when you get to the part of the story that is the movie, but
like
that
just
is
a lot
the
of running
end of the
around,
game. The
chasing
movie is
people.
the end of the game. The game, the storyline predates the movie by 6 months and builds character development for all these characters who, by the way, are revoiced by the actors who are still alive who played the characters originally in 1978.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
So there's a character named Cleon who dies in the first 15 minutes of the Warriors movie. He dies. The actor who voiced Cleon, they brought back, and then they developed his character over the 6 months. He's the leader of like the gang.
He's who you play in the game.
You play as a character named. You might play him at one point, but you play primarily as this character named Rembrandt, who's also in the movie.
Is he Dexter's father?
No, that's
You know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
remember
I know
his name, but he's in it. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause he was in the
his
movie.
name's James. I'm not gonna remember his last name. He's in the movie and has some of the best like one-liners, like really out of touch, like really inappropriate, like female like terms for females that I'm not going to mention on the show.
Word.
But like, it's really derogatory stuff, but it's so inappropriate at this point. Like
Yeah.
he has the worst lines in the whole movie. But anyway, what's really cool about the game is it allows you to play all these story quests that take place before the movie and leads you into the movie, and then you play the movie out.
That's a pretty cool seamless experience.
Yeah,
story-wise.
it's pretty great. But the way the game plays is it's a beat 'em up. It's an awesome beat 'em up, like no different than Double Dragon in the
Yeah.
arcade. But you can smash people into walls.
Is it
You can
3D
pick up
or
things
is it
all
2D?
over the place.
Is it like a side scrolling?
It's 3D. It's 3D.
Behind the back kind of
But
thing?
I was gonna say it's PS2 era, so it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
really fun Easter egg. You beat the whole game. You unlock a video game machine in your clubhouse that is the Warriors. But when you actually play it, it's just like original arcade Double Dragon.
But Warriors.
But you're the Warriors
Yeah.
characters doing it.
Nice.
Really cool thing, a little mini game that they unlock that you unlock when you complete the whole story. But yeah, the game in Rockstar style, the game has a bunch of games within the game, a lot of mini games. There's a mini game for tagging walls. There's so every time you go up to tag a wall, you have to like follow it a pattern like an S or something like that, and
Like
stay
as if you're
on the
drawing
path.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's really cool.
Mario Party vibes.
A lot of cool stuff like that, and then like it was one of the first games that I've ever played where the damage you do, the destruction you do to the environment, can be used in your fight style. So like if you break a table, the legs become like weapons.
Yeah,
like
you pick them up and
pick up
use
the
them,
legs and bash people with it. So there's stuff all over the place. Like hitting people with a bottle in this is so satisfying. You break the bottle, and then you can stab them with it, or you can just break the bottle over their head. And there's so many different things you can do in this. And the coolest thing is you can do the entire campaign completely co-op. You and a friend, split screen, can play the entire game together.
Nice.
And I used to get drunk, and I'd go out to the bar, and when I came back,
smash bottles.
me and like a friend of mine, whatever given friend at that time, played one whole Warriors save run through, and it was a different friend each time. I was like, "You want to play the Warriors a little bit? We'll play a couple missions or whatever." We're drunk as fuck, and they're on one side, I'm on the other side, and we would come home and we would play the Warriors. But I had a great time with this game. I love this game. I recommend this game to anybody, and it really does hold up if you can handle the fact that it, has more boxy graphics from like PS2 era.
Well, I'm surprised you can. That's one of your things.
It's a game I played. Remember, I said I can't retro a game I haven't played.
There's a rule. There's rules.
There's
to
a
this,
rule.
yeah.
I can retro games, but I can't retro a game I haven't played.
You have to have it already in your memories.
Yeah, because it looks different in your mind's eye.
It does.
Definitely
does.
So I'm going to stream that tomorrow. So if anyone wants to check out my stream, I'll be on
I'll do that.
Mixer or Twitch tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to start from the very beginning, and I'm going to play like a full – I'm probably not going to finish it tomorrow, but I'm going to play over the next couple days. Its campaign is probably about – I would say it's probably about, 12 hours or 14 hours tops.
Nice.
Okay.
So it's not very long, but a bunch of story stuff in the Rockstar style.
It kind of reminds me – it's nothing like the game that you're describing, but it kind of reminds me of Enter the Matrix. In terms of movie tie-ins and games that went along with IP that was already kind of established.
How it sets that up, because that was a side plot to the movie.
Yes.
To part 2, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it danced in and out of the things that happened parallel to, I think, Matrix Reloaded.
You played as
Niobe.
Niobe, yeah.
And Ghost.
That sounds right.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith. The other
person.
Guy. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. That was a marketing tie-in. You can't call it anything but that.
I mean, it was a game, but it was also
Warriors came out.
It was they literally shot scenes at the same time they were shooting their movie. So
exactly.
It was. I mean, I don't want to reduce it to like a billboard. It definitely had a crossover effect advertising wise, but it's a little more than that.
Warriors came out in 1978. That's the year I was born. If you listen to interviews of the guys who played the characters, when they came to them and said to them, "We're making a video game out of an IP that you performed in like 30 years ago," the guys were like completely confused and shocked, and they didn't understand why.
Like, well, it's a video game.
But Dan Houser and Sam Houser, who have been fans of crime fiction their entire life, Dan Houser and Sam Houser are the developers and creators of Grand Theft Auto. Loved this movie, and they got a hold of the IP, and they essentially created an homage like that is better than, because originally it was a book, a 1969 book called The Warriors, and then the movie was Walter Hill. Walter Hill created this movie. He's a famous Hollywood director, but like when the movie came out, like I said, these two developers at Rockstar wanted to know more about the characters that they didn't get a chance to know, really, because some of them are in the movie and some of them die very quickly in the beginning of the movie. The premise of the movie, if you don't know, is this gang called the Warriors from Coney Island goes to a meeting in the Bronx of all the gangs. The big gang leader of the biggest gang, whatever they're called, I can't remember their name.
Not the Warriors.
Gramercy Riffs. That's what they're called, the Gramercy Riffs. The leader of the biggest gang, the Gramercy Riffs, wants to unify the gangs. So he invites them to the Bronx in a peace offering to say, basically, we're 60,000 gang members. The cops in the city are 20,000. We can take the cops and run the city, basically close off Manhattan to ourselves. And when they're holding this meeting, he gets shot. And then somebody blames the Warriors in the crowd, even though they didn't do it. And then they have to get from the Bronx all the way at the top of Manhattan Island all the way down to Coney Island, which is all the way at the furthest point south of Manhattan Island, while traveling through all of these different boroughs where there are these rival gangs that want to kill them. So basically the whole movie is a race, a chase, every neighborhood they go into, it's a thriller. Like, it turns into this thriller, but it's also action-packed, and it's great. It's a good movie that has a really good finale at the end where they face off with the gang that framed them, basically. But it's a great movie, but they add so much more with this game, and I'm passionate about it as much as Dan and
I'm
Sam
excited to
Hauser
see
are.
you play this. I'll turn
It's a
you
good
on in the
sell.
morning.
Yeah.
Definitely a good sell.
Check
Yeah.
it out. So that's my thing on the Warriors.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Are you ready to talk about?
Oh, yeah. Somebody typed in the chat. Sorry. I'm acknowledging the chat. That's the most famous line. Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Yeah.
Can you dig it?
Can
That's
you
good
dig
stuff.
it? Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Chat, do not encourage Felix for good, please. I'm
No.
going to break.
I'm
my
going to
own
stop
rules here.
talking to you. I'm going to stop talking.
This is the last episode ever.
Won't do it again.
Ever. You acknowledge that, chat.
We want to talk about next. My
Um,
escapades or your escapades?
Do yours, because I haven't done anything new this week besides the thing that we both have done a little bit.
All right. So this past week, I got a VR headset. So I bought the Rift S. The
You
Oculus
did,
Rift.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
huge, actually.
I know, and I was stuck for a while going between the Quest and which is that wireless hands-free one, right? But it has a link cable that you can hook to your computer and wire it using the power of your PC's power.
Yeah, kind of boosted a little bit.
Yeah, and then you can play the PC game versions of the games. But it also has like a different store.
It's got its own kind of like built-in.
wireless built-in
Yeah.
store for only the wireless games that you're not plugged into.
But
But
you didn't go with the
I did
Quest.
not go with that. And they're the same price, so like it's not like it would have mattered. But I went with the Rift S because I'm not gonna. It's not something I want to bring around, and it's something I want to make sure will work really well with my computer.
Sure.
It has a higher refresh rate for your eye the eye monitors, right? Because you need that in a VR game because you don't want to get. That's part of the reason why you get sick.
It's part of the reason why I got sick trying it on the PS4
Well,
every
here's
time.
the thing, Felix.
Can I come over and try it on
The
yours?
PS4
I got good news for you.
struggled
The
to even
Rift,
hit 90.
I can bring it here and plug it into your machine, and it would work just fine.
I think we should try it. I want you to bring it over.
The Rift S, compared to the PSVR, it has a higher resolution display and a higher refresh rate. So you're seeing a crisper image, and you don't get that refresh
The
rate
screen door effect,
tear. Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I think I need to try.
You need to play a good one.
Yeah, I just need to try VR on an optimized set
Yeah.
so that I can experience what it really feels like. Because PSVR is just, I'm starting to realize it's just trash for me and causes headaches.
It's a very low bar hardware.
Yeah, I mean, it gets the job done, but there's a lot of corners that it does cut to make that happen. And when you experience like a full-on system,
It's an
like what you
experience,
have,
yeah.
like I have the Vive personally. I have the very first Vive. When you are in a system that's designed for as full immersion as possible,
Utilizing the power of whatever your
Yeah.
PC can handle.
it does.
Yeah.
It is. You can actually experience difference for sure.
So, man, what an experience this thing is, dude. You put the thing on, like Oculus has its own like environment that boots up.
Yeah.
So you put your headset on, and it's like you're in like a nice apartment.
Yep.
And it's got like all the things and like your hands. It's like one-to-one movement, and your fingers. It knows that you're
Oh
opening
yeah,
and closing them.
your Rift has the things that like a circle goes around.
Yes.
Does that enable like individual finger movement in
Not
the game?
fully. I think it's something they're going to update later.
Got it.
Full like hand tracking is a
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
without controllers. That it'll just know your hands are
Oh,
there.
interesting.
That's
Yeah.
not available yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But the controllers
Good
themselves,
concept though.
it recognizes my thumbs and these three fingers, more or less. It's these are the fingers that it recognizes.
So you have
moving.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah, and a grip. But like
Well,
for example,
well, that's good.
Yes, exactly. But so like when I open because you got to hold the controller. When you open these fingers in the games, it'll look like you're opening your whole hand for certain things like grabbing a gun and something
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something. But man, playing like the first thing I did was play around in that room. It has a whole bar at the bottom that like spreads out in front of you, going, okay, do I want to look at my desktop? Because it can pull your desktop up. Do I want to pull up other windows? And all of a sudden I'm in Minority Report, and I'm like, oh, I'll just move my desktop to
Yeah.
my right, and then I'll see the game library over here. And then like, oh, Steam VR. I can boot up Steam VR, which is another environment, which I've seen you play in.
Yes.
When
Yeah, yeah.
you did the Falcon Age stream
Which of course I only have the option of being in that environment.
because of the
So
Vive.
it's cool. You have more environments
Yeah,
than I do.
yeah.
You're inceptioning your environment.
I know, and I think the Steam VR one's a lot cooler, even though it doesn't include the desktop view and use feature.
No, you need a separate app. Like
You do.
I bought like the virtual desktop thing.
And I was going to buy that until I saw Oculus just had, I can just
There's a
use
viewer
my
for it,
desktop.
yeah, which is nice.
Because it's cool because like if I need to get to my desktop, I can just like at one point someone was like messaging me on Discord and I was like, oh, I'm wearing this headset right now. I'm just gonna boop, and then there's like the keyboard pops up in front of you and you don't need to click anything. You just go move your fingers up and down and then you're typing on the keyboard. And I'm
Nice.
like, how is this so intuitive
Yeah.
that it knows that I'm using it like
the
that?
Vives they essentially split the keyboard down the middle.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like point over the letters in each hand when you're typing inside of that environment.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
That's
you're good
cool.
with the desktop thing because you'd have to launch the Oculus Home and then go into the Steam Home, then open
then
the
open
Steam
the
app.
Steam- the
If
app,
you've got
yeah.
it built in, you got to keep rocking
But
that.
playing, like I bought 2 Steam games so far
Mm-hmm.
to play on VR, and I'm gonna go. I don't want to go nuts right away. Like I'm gonna play a lot of shit.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
know I gotta pace myself because main purpose of getting this was I want to play that Half-Life
Yep.
Alex game. And I'm barely meeting the minimum requirements to play it, so like I don't even know if I'm going to be capable of it.
Sure.
VR runs perfectly fine on my
What's
machine.
your graphics card?
980 Ti.
Oh, wow.
The
okay.
requirement for Alex is 12 gigs of computer RAM, a 1050,
Uh-huh. Bare
1060?
minimum, yeah.
I think, graphics
12,
card
12 gigs
of computer RAM at least,
but not video RAM.
not video RAM. Here, I'm gonna pull it up.
Just
real
Damn,
quick.
I'm going to have to actually upgrade my RAM
I
this year.
actually my RAM's really cheap right now. I could get another 16 gigs for $60.
I don't even
I
know
think
what
I need to
got
do
in
that. I'm running 16 now. I should double it.
Yeah, I agree. Half-Life,
I should double it.
Alex.
I'm
Requirements.
good on my graphics card because I got a 2080 last year,
Yeah,
last
you're
January. so
definitely good.
I'm chilling there, but
Um,
I need space to run it, baby.
Yeah, so
I have 16 gigs of RAM.
I played 60. Yeah, so 12 is the minimum. 1060 graphics minimum. 6 gigs of VR of VRAM,
Yeah.
which my card just makes.
Card RAM.
When you
yeah.
say 1060, you're referring to NVIDIA?
yeah,
The NVIDIA 1060. Yeah,
I have passed that, right?
you do.
you do.
But also you got to check benchmarks too, because certain
I'm not.
cards perform. That's something I did earlier.
He waves his hand and goes,
Yeah,
I'm
nah,
not.
I'm not doing that. I look at that shit. all
You're
the time.
saying words I'm not. No, I'm
Anyway,
not.
so
I'm not actually. I'm being rhetorical
I
here.
I
man.
get it. I'm fine.
I'm not fucking.
So the first thing I played was, of course, Steam's The Lab.
The
Valve's
lab was my first experience too, and
Holy shit, dude!
it's the perfect. Isn't it the perfect like
Intro.
example of what VR can be
Oh
for
my!
across the
Oh
board?
my god, dude! All right, first thing I did, the tower defense arrow game.
So good.
That was so much fun. I was the whole
So
time I'm
good.
like playing the arrow theme song in my head, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like firing arrows, and it's just doing it. I'm just doing it. Like aiming's a little tough. I got to get used to it, but
Yep.
like, man, is it fun? And it looks like I'm standing on this place looking over because you can lean forward.
You're on
and
like
look down.
a castle like parapet,
You're on like a rook.
and
whatever
you
that
have
is.
you have these little like the Valve stick figures. The best way to put it, like the very stylized Portal 2.
Portal
figures.
2.
They're essentially running at a door in waves, and you have to just shoot them.
These guys.
Pick them off with arrows.
These
Oh,
guys.
okay, I
These guys
see.
are running through.
Yeah, and then they get more and more difficult. They start wearing helmets, and your arrows dink off their helmets. Like it's pretty good, man. It's like a really really fun game.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I did. The next thing I did was, it was like a Portal 2 tie-in thing. I don't know, because you pick up these.
You
pick
build
up
the
these-
robot thing.
You pick up these orbs and you throw them in your face.
That's
and
how you
go
enter the worlds.
You go inside these little mini games, and it was the Atlas and Peabody robots.
Yep.
From Portal 2. These
So
are the.
it's the like the interaction one where you're building something, right? Or like
Yeah. Well, they make you like
you build a robot,
like in Portal fashion. I don't think I did.
or
that. In Portal fashion, there's some guy telling you to do things, right? And you do it, and they go, you're stupid. You did it wrong, right? Like
Yeah.
in just Portal fashion.
yeah,
And what happens is Peabody comes out and they like go, okay, you got to take him apart and repair him because he's not feeling good.
I think
And-
this is the same thing that I was talking
And
about.
he's
yeah.
this robot.
Yep. Yes, this is 100% the thing because all of this is really like an experience.
Right, exactly.
They guide
So-
you through the step by steps of this thing.
So Felix, this robot, he comes forward on this tray and he goes, okay, you got to open him up and fix him. And my God, was this fucking cool.
What are those fucking robots doing?
They're hugging.
They're hugging. They're friendly
They're
robots.
friends. They're the co-op robots from Portal 2. if you play with a friend.
I thought they were doing something else.
They're just friends.
They're just friends.
Okay.
And this little blue one
Nothing
comes out.
sexual. They're just friends.
They're just friends.
Got it.
And you pull his eyeball out, and you spread his parts out, and it spreads out like a blueprint.
It's very much like Iron Man when he's building
Yes.
his models, and you see all the exploded view of all the little pieces that go in.
exactly like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna put my head in it, and I just put my head forward in it and look around. And this guy's talking. He's like saying things like, "Oh, he's gonna explode if you don't fix his power core in a second." He's counting down real fast like a joke, and I'm like, ah ha ha, funny. But like, you can spin his parts and you can move it and like you can touch it.
Yeah, that's like the most tech demo-y one.
Yeah.
It's still really fun, but
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's like an experience you kind of go through. Did you play the slingshot with the brain cores? The slingshot game?
Didn't get to that one.
It
Did not
uses
get
it
those.
uses the cores from Portal 2. You know how they all
Cool.
the different personality
Yeah,
cores?
yeah.
And you have to launch them in a giant warehouse at stacks of boxes, and of course like knock down more boxes with more heads.
That's fun.
But because they're using the personality cores, every time you load one up, you get different dialogue from the personality cores. Like one who's
Nolan
ready to
North's one of
go.
them.
One's like fucking ready to kill all the boxes. And one's like don't let me
How
go.
to partner?
Don't let me go. I don't
You
want to
got
go.
cowboy.
Yeah,
cowboy
they're all
core?
there. They're all
Oh,
there,
man.
dude.
I love that. And then I was about to start the magic shop one. There's like this magic shop thing. But then I was like, I don't got time to poke around in here, so I had to turn it off
I forget that.
at
one.
that point.
I've been in all of them. For
The
sure.
next session I played, so that was about what I took away from the lab. The next session I played was Super Hot. It's the next thing I did.
Love it.
You played that game?
In VR, yeah.
You played it in VR? Oh, man.
On
What
the PS4.
Yeah, of course. I assume it's the same experience, but, man, that's fun. It's really cool.
That's
love it.
bullets
Very
and things
Matrix.
only move when you move.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Very fun. I played that for a good, 30 minutes before I wanted to play Beat Saber.
Yeah.
And that's my game. That's my game right there. Because as a former DDR pro, reliving my past life.
To
in
the
new
listeners
age,
out there, Neo Yoshi is not kidding when he calls himself a DDR pro.
I got video proof.
He's out of control.
I went
kind
to
of.
Dave & Buster's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but you've been
I'm
doing it
out
for
of shape.
years.
I'm out
Like,
of shape.
It was you when you were a kid. That was
Yeah.
your big thing.
Yeah. But even here's the funny thing: going on to Dave & Buster's and hopping on a DDR machine, I still got it. I can still do it. My old ass body
It's
no.
not keeping up with
You're
you.
not.
Yeah.
You're not that good anymore.
You
But
can get back there if you focus on it.
I know, I
But
have to
who
do it,
has the time?
I do it every day if I could. My neighbors wouldn't like that if I did that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's your
but
life.
Beat Saber I can play because it's a guy got a headset on and all the things are in my vision. And
Played Beat Saber too.
you played that? It's for anyone who doesn't know. It's the most popular
Really,
VR game.
really
pretty much.
fucking
It's
hard.
the top seller.
You
on-
hold
everything.
things that are
Lightsabers.
not lightsabers,
Yeah.
but they're lightsabers, and they're like one's blue, one's red. You have to hit patterns as they come at you, kind of like a virtual Guitar Hero kind
Yeah.
of thing.
So what I want to do is
It's like Guitar Hero combined with Star Wars combined with Fruit Ninja.
yes,
Yeah, that's
and DDR.
Pretty
'cause
solid.
It's a rhythm game. Oh, it's my baby.
pretty solid.
So what I want to do is I want to get a whole list of songs, custom songs
Yeah.
on there, and get on stream and just
Oh, that'd be
just fucking
cool.
nail
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I actually need your help. How do I
Capturing and
how do
stuff.
I capture that?
It's more complicated than it should be, but there's a couple different ways depending on how your computer
And
is
then
set up to stream.
how
So
do I
we'll-
get my stream chat in there so I don't ignore them?
we'll-
That's the second.
We'll do all of that.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
for
Because
sure.
I'll need your help with that.
Yep.
Because I want to do a whole VR
Can't
thing.
you get that in your heads up?
You can.
There-
I
yeah,
saw him
there's
do it.
it's
Yeah.
all a different third-party app situation you got to download and set up depending on model and of course.
Yeah, so I'm
stream
gonna
rate.
need all them details.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am very excited to do more VR stuff. I
Didn't
want to
you
get.
play No Man's Sky? You did that, didn't you?
I booted up for a minute, and what I ended up doing was I spawned right on the planet that you live on, that we built your bridge on. and
Our
everything.
bridge,
yeah,
yeah.
our planet.
This is a sidebar, but
Yeah.
I need you to give me permission to build over your
Did I not do
claimed lands.
that? I thought I did that.
If
thought
you
I
did,
went in and
I
checked
still
the
can't.
box.
Well, I'll check again, but
Hey, you give me an excuse to pop that headset in and hop in that game and do that thing, I'll do it.
we're
I'm
trying
there,
to
man.
build a
I'm
planet
there.
of all the emerging gamer community in one big city.
Oh, I'm there, man. What you know?
Did
What
you
I
guys
did?
put a post in the ground that says the emerging gamer community?
think-
or-
I
Can
could
you
make
do
a
that?
big sign.
You could make a sign.
I built a
out of
highway.
blocks.
I told you about this, haven't I?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
built a
yeah.
literal, gigantic,
Oh, I heard.
canyon-spanning bridge.
So here's what I did in No Man's Sky with the VR headset on. I spawned right in my area, walked through my home that I built, looked at my ship, walked around, looked at the environment and everything, and then I got in my ship and I just sat there
You're
for
just
for 5 minutes,
shit,
going look at this, turning around, look at this cockpit. I can't
You know what was fun for me
can-
personally?
move around like
Being
this.
in there, finding out how to get out.
Yeah.
Because it's different than
It's very
there's not a
different.
button that you hit. You actually
No.
have to physically find the handlebar and yank it towards you.
Yep, it's true. And there's one on both sides of my ship at least.
Yep.
And you, in order to fly it, you have to like put your hand, like your controller hand
one's
out,
your throttle and
and-
one's your joystick, your
Yeah.
flight stick, and you have to actually like
like
keep your hands there, that's the awkward part.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's like here.
yeah.
But other than that, it works really well. Like in terms of like
it's intuitive.
movement and
Yeah.
motion, because it's like literally forward back for your your throttle, and then it just
Yep.
steer
So
in.
I took myself to space, looked at the asteroids, looked at the ships come into your peripheral, and I flew around them, and I was like, oh, look at me do a flyby right now, and like because you can do things that you couldn't do with the keyboard and controller. You can like kind of drift sideways and then kind of like drift a little. Like
it's a whole different thing. Yeah.
I need to install Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous is a lot in VR.
It's because already that game is
A
like
lot of switches.
lots of
Yeah.
controls. to
Whenever
remember,
I
yeah.
boot up, it's like once every like 6 months, I'm like, I'm gonna play this in VR, and I spend my like 2 hours
learning controls.
peeking out of my headset, like, where the fuck? Oh yeah, and then like putting it back on, and it's that, and then I'm like, all right, it's time to go to sleep.
For that, I'm
and
gonna
then I
have to-
forget. I don't play it for like 6
For that,
months.
I'll actually have to bring out like my HOTAS.
Yeah.
But the problem is I can't see the HOTAS on my desk. That might be a problem.
You can strap him to your chair like a real true nerd. Have him living there on your arms.
Yeah, but then I need to know where my keyboard placement is for different things like landing gear.
You're just gonna have to
What
build
the
yourself a whole
Fuck's a
wooden.
HOTAS.
Hands-on throttle and stick.
Thank you. I couldn't remember what the acronym was.
It's essentially.
You play with your HOTAS a lot?
I wish I played with my HOTAS a lot. This is what a HOTAS looks like.
It's a flight stick, but one you can connect to like.
Oh,
a-
this is
I see
this
it
is the
now.
one I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
The Thrust
the
Master.
cheapo
You
Thrustmaster.
put your hands on
Get
that
your
Thrustmaster?
Thrustmaster now.
You
Yeah.
put your hands on that Thrustmaster?
It's
I
it's
do.
a two-handed Thrustmaster.
Um,
You've got throttle in the left hand, and you got your control in the
They're
right.
like spot on. They're like proctologists who are making ass jokes.
Yeah.
Like that company.
What company?
The company making that
Thrustmaster.
are like proctologists making ass jokes all the time. Because they're just like, we know that you're going to make sexual jokes about our Thrustmaster, so we might as well just call it the fucking Thrustmaster.
Why proctologist though? Out of all the
Have you ever been to a proctologist? Oh, you probably haven't yet.
no.
Most proctologists that I've been to are constant with the ass jokes. Like, it's so fucking weird.
So, like
They
such a very specific
Dude,
lane.
they have the funniest sense of humors. But I've now, so completely different cultural backgrounds. I went to an Asian proctologist, this guy, and I went to like a white American guy.
Uh-huh.
All right,
I'm scared of where it's
I'm
going.
both
so
of them,
scared.
But
both
continue.
of them, constant with the fucking weird, hilarious
Butt
ass
jokes.
jokes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be, I can't even remember any of them, but they were just funny. They put you at ease with it
Right.
because they know that
Well, you got some guy
nobody.
digging around your ass.
Like,
so
We
the
know
most-
nobody wants
The
to
more
be here.
at ease you are, the better.
Like proctologists are notoriously laid back dudes.
Yeah.
Because they know fully what they got themselves into.
True.
They got themselves into everyone's ass.
it's true.
Like,
Hands in the ass.
but that's what I'm saying about the Thrustmaster people. They just called it Thrustmaster.
They sure
'Cause they're
did.
like, we know what we're making. We're making something that's very sexually suggestive. So we just got to own
I'm
it.
on board with the analogy now.
gets
I just
right
wondered
in
where
there.
the proctologist
It's a good
came
one.
from. But thank you for
So
explaining.
anyway,
I earth-two'd that one. Sorry.
You did.
I
It's
will
okay.
I will play more No Man's Sky, just to use
It's
the
it's
just
wild,
use it.
dude. It's wild.
and just see what it's like to play that because I didn't really
Doesn't
play the game.
everything look bigger though in VR? Like
you feel smaller.
you actually get the
for
sense
sure.
of scale. Like your
Yeah.
ship looks bigger.
It
Even
does.
like the refiner.
Yeah.
When I put that on the ground, I was like, this thing is huge.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a. I mean, that must just be a product of you being in the environment.
Yeah, like actually seeing it relative space or size, I should say, to like a human.
Exactly.
there,
Yeah, that seems right. And like because you're looking at everything through a screen normally, so it's like now you're in it
Yeah.
almost. It's just like a weird, mind-boggling thing to like wrap your mind
crazy.
around. And the last thing I played was Minecraft in VR.
Oh, nice.
Which is the thing, and I joined the LC server, which I'm in, and just looked at everyone's structure. I didn't do anything. I just like went to everyone's structures and went,
yeah.
"Whoa, this is Minecraft, and I'm in it."
Yep.
And it was just really weird.
I'm in
it
the
was
world.
Just real weird.
In the world.
I was in the world of Minecraft.
So you pick the little boulders up and shit
Yeah,
yourself?
you could do that. You can, and like the fucking monsters are walking around, and I got my stick, and like you pull up your menu, and the menu's like a floating window,
Punch
and
'em
you're
or
like,
something?
dude, No Man's Sky though.
How
coolest thing
amazing
ever.
are those menus?
Because you have this is how you in the menus in the game. If you're on a controller, it's like you hit a button and it pulls the menu.
It's like a regular menu.
But in VR, Felix, in VR, Felix, you look at your hand and little buttons pop up, and you go, "Oh, I want to open my item menu."
fucking
It's very
cool.
contextual.
And then I'm like
Very
pointing
sexy.
to all my
I like
menu
that.
items.
I like
And
that.
it looks like it's in the game world because like a hologram pops up and it's like Dead Space style. You know what I mean?
That's
They
way
were, like-
cooler.
How do we?
They mainlined so many fixes and experiences specifically for VR
Yeah.
that they could have charged for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Because most games do. Super Hot VR, separate game.
I bought Skyrim VR.
Skyrim VR, separate game.
And like, there's really not that much different than that and No Man's Sky in terms of what they did contextually. Even the menus are a little bit better in No Man's Sky in terms of how they float in front of you in VR. Separate game. Not separate game for No Man's Sky.
Taking your gun out, Felix, reach behind you and it's in your hand.
I love that.
And then like you got trigger grips, right? You got a grip button.
Yeah.
So like
Well, that's how
it
that.
knows.
Reach,
what's,
grab.
What's
There's
the
a thing.
Galactic Pirate shooter game?
The one that
I
Channing
think it's literally
played?
called like Galactic
Space Pirate VR
Pirate or whatever.
trainer.
shooter thing.
That
yeah.
one's the same way. Like to get certain weapons out, you just reach behind and
Yeah.
pull it out. Yeah.
It's nuts. And then and the other hand has some other controls. The one thing I had a hard time figuring out was putting the scanner on. I was pinging the environment, but I couldn't put my scanner on. I couldn't figure
Oh,
it out.
right.
Contextually
To,
couldn't
to
figure that out.
find like the deposits and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I never did that when I was in there either, so I don't know how to do that.
I'm very down to revisit that and do more of that. So games I'm gonna get and play. I was gonna say Escape from Tarkov, but I have a whole list
Is
of
that a
games
VR
now.
game?
There is a game that is Counter-Strike VR,
Jesus.
and I don't know what it's called right now.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, I'm booting up Steam right now, but there's a bunch of other games I really want to play. Obviously, Half-Life Alyx, I will be playing when that time comes. And don't worry, I have not pre-ordered it. I'm not breaking my code, even though it is like 10% off right now.
Oh,
But-
is it?
Yeah, for pre-times. All right, we got Arizona Sunshine, which is like a zombie game. It's on my list. Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Bridge Crew
That's a game. If you were
kinda seems like it slaps.
okay, I'm glad to hear you say that
Yeah.
because we got two other people we can do this with.
See, here's the thing.
And I would do it.
I haven't watched hours and hours of the TV show. I've only ever seen, like, I think I've seen 3 out of the 4 The Next Generation movies. I've seen all the new Star Treks. I'm not,
You've never
by
seen
any
the show?
means, a die-hard Star Trek fan. Even though I've seen at least one episode from every
There were
major series.
4 Next Generation movies.
I think so.
Something
Holy
like that.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Ending with Nemesis.
But, like, I don't know. I could fuck with...
What were
with,
Ending with the movie Nemesis.
Yeah, that
Nemesis
was
was
the,
the
end.
last
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What the fuck were they called?
There's Generations. There was
Generations.
Nemesis. There was First Contact, and
That
then
sounds
there
right.
was
Now you're naming them, and I know them all.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I don't think I've
but
seen
I
them.
could like the whole experience of flying a ship. Like it has like
with a crew
with a crew
of people that you
that all do their own
communicate with.
thing. Yeah, it's very like there's like it's almost like a Navy simulator at the same
Yeah.
time too. It's like it's got a lot of pull.
Oh, yeah.
a lot of attraction. I could get down with that.
So if there's ever a time you want to do that, because I know Mike and Tim from our server will have already tried playing it together, and I would be down.
Were
if
they
we
like
came
this is cool if we had more people?
Yes, exactly. They were like, and like Tim was the one guy being like, Neo, you got to get a VR headset. You got to do that because they know I'm a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, you got to do this. You got to get it.
Funny random story. That it's weird that you bring this up today too. The new Picard show is coming out.
Yeah, in like a week
And
or two.
there were a couple articles that I saw get posted around the things that I follow saying like, oh, this is where it fits into the timeline. And they mentioned like the Romulan planet or the Romulan supernova that happened in the first of the newest series.
Of
as
the
le-
movies.
Yeah, like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek had
Okay.
an event that like
Yeah, that's
The-
they
affects both of those
the new,
timelines.
and that's a new timeline. Oh, it
Yeah.
affects both timelines.
Yeah, this is in the prime timeline apparently.
Oh, I'm so.
but I
excited.
like shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not obviously like I just said a hardcore fan of the show, but I appreciate story ties in like that. So I went back and watched the first JJ
Movie.
Star Trek
a
last
good movie.
night to like
a good movie.
remember how that event happened, so that when Picard comes out, I might. Picard seems like a cool vibe. I could fuck with Picard.
I'm gonna fuck with Picard, obviously.
You guys are like talking about space shit. Can I bring up something? Is that a tangent if I bring up space shit?
What? Yeah, sure.
I'm telling you, you need to watch Lost in Space.
Oh, the Netflix
Oh yeah,
show.
I
need to
tweeted
fucking
about it,
watch
dude.
it.
I tweeted about it.
Here's why you need to watch it. I need your expertise, both of you,
Yeah.
on if the science or at least the science fiction in this movie,
If it's
makes sense. If it sounds plausible. I'm watching it, and Elise is telling me the whole time, like, she doesn't think any of it's plausible. She thinks it's all bullshit.
No, definitely not.
And I'm watching it fascinated by
It's
it.
just
Love
bought
it.
in.
Look,
you're bought in.
But I have no previous context.
Look, it's just
with
fun
really-
sci-fi.
It's
That's all
fun
it
as
is.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
like,
the
movie-
characters are compelling. The stories are really fun. There's drama. There's tension.
You watch it.
I've seen the whole thing.
I'm not caught up.
I've seen
don't spoil it.
all 2 seasons of it.
I just started second season. So
Yeah, Christmas Day. This is gonna sound real pathetic, but like that's like what I did. I watched season 2. It was great.
That's
why
not
is that
pathetic.
pathetic?
I don't know because people do things on Christmas. I don't know. I
Christmas
went to a
Day
party
one
the day
year,
before.
I watched the entire Dark Knight trilogy,
It's a good day.
and I found out
Whatever works.
that in
Lord of the
reality,
Rings, why not?
no. Here's what I
Celebrate
learned
in
though.
your own way.
I found out Batman Begins good, Dark Knight actually good. Didn't think it was good before that day, and then Dark Knight Returns is still or
Rises.
is still shit.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's what I determined.
The fire
Anyway,
rises,
two more VR games I'm going to shout out. I want to play. Asgard's Wrath.
Okay.
That's been getting real high marks as being like a really cool action adventure-ish RPG. God simulator, kind of.
Okay.
Lots of cool things. Definitely check it out.
Pavlov's Wrath.
Asgard's Wrath.
Asgard's.
Pavlov is the
The
Counter-Strike
shooter. Yeah.
shooter. Yes. Asgard's Wrath is the other one. It takes place. It's like a Norse game. Like you're Norse stuff. You're doing
Makes
Norse things.
I mean, Asgard's in there.
And of course, let's see what else I had here. I had Moss. I heard was really good. That came out on PSVR.
Moss, the little cute mouse explorer VR game.
Exactly. Yeah. And
And
then
then guide the mouse along his little path in VR. You just look at him.
I'm gonna look into Blade and Sorcery more, but I want to see a cool like maybe just do Skyrim VR, but like I want a cool RPG like game to play. I didn't get lost in. You know,
Dude,
Skyrim
I
did do it.
hated paying for it again.
Yeah, I got it.
But
I
then
don't
when
wanna
I
do
was in
that.
there, I was like, I don't regret buying this game for the
not good.
17th time. So
Matt, my requirements are essentially I want a good slashy game. I want a good shooty game. That's what I want. And then of course Half-Life.
Skyrim with dual wielding freehand swords because of VR is a game changer. It's broken actually. Like all you have to do is like whip your hands around and everything in front of you is just dead.
Sweet.
It's kind of broken.
Well, anyway, I talked a lot about VR. Let's
Cool.
move on
Let's move on.
to your John.
So what I did this week,
John.
I hopped into Temtem
Tell us what Temtem
as
is.
my
Tell us all about
as
Temtem.
My new game of this week.
'Cause I don't
You
fucking-
know,
I don't fucking know what it is.
So I played early access Temtem a few
you
times.
were in the early access. Temtem, Felix, is a Pokemon style MMO game. So what they've done is they've taken the concept of a monster catching game where you collect, 6 of your monsters with you and you fight with them, you catch them out in the wild, you train them, you level them up, you battle other trainers. They call them tamers.
Which is
in
not
this
in
game.
any way, shape, or form an MMO.
That concept alone
Well-
exists in Pokemon by itself.
Pokemon is not an MMO.
No, because of course you have massively multiplayer online as part of that acronym.
So there is no online in Pokemon.
No. Well,
Well-
it's semantics, but no. Let's say no, just to make it clean and easy.
Yeah.
In this game, in Temtem, you are actually in an MMO. Your world has other tamers named people that are
I
playing the
see.
game running around in there with their own Temtem running around behind them. So that alone is a huge separator in how the games play. And already, in my very, very early experience with this game, makes it more enjoyable and interactive than anything Pokemon has done to be social.
So is this kind of like Bobo Pokemon?
I mean, kind of. Like, there's a direct parallel with each one. But I wouldn't use the word Bobo because it is actually good. Like, it's good.
It's like if
Hey,
if
hey,
Game Freak
no.
cared, you know what I
Getting,
mean?
getting Bobo Keds from the Payless.
Sure, dude. Nothing
Wear
wrong with that.
comfortable shoes. I'm
Nothing
not
wrong with
saying
the
they're
Bobo
not
Keds.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not
But
comfortable.
the thing that Temtem does really well is that it seems like it's trying to push the genre forward
Yes.
a little bit in various ways. You got
Par-
quest logs,
There,
dual battles.
dude, the RPG quests in a Pokemon game.
Who thought it?
I had multiple quests at the same time, and I was like, wow, this is a whole different element of this
I have
game.
other things to do other
Now
than the one
I-
thing.
Now I can do more, exactly, than just
Yeah.
visit a city, heal up, do the gym, and then go to the next patch of grass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are direct parallels, don't get me wrong. Like, instead of Pokeballs, you have your Tem cards, which store your Temtem digitally. There's there's not a Poke Center. There is a Temporium, where you heal your Temtem, and you go to the shop and all that
So
stuff.
is this like
There's not gyms, there's dojos.
Yeah.
They're
Is
not
this-
trainers, they're tamers.
is this like Fortnite to Player Unknowns?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of animation alone, it is.
Right. So this is the Fortnite to Pokemon.
But remember,
which is player
Fortnite
unknowns.
arguably did it
Now,
better.
I don't know
and
if this
pushed
is-
the genre ahead. So that's a really good analogy.
That's what I
Felix.
meant.
That's a really good
That's what I
analogy.
meant.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, the
Dude,
game
how
looks
many analogies
better.
can I come up with in this fucking show?
I don't know.
You're killing it. Let's just say that.
It all started
Killing
with the
it.
prize
I'd,
pig.
I'd give you your 66% on your analogies.
At least you're not a punter.
No.
I tried the whole night.
But one thing's for sure that this
Keep
game
going, though.
gets good points on for me is the fact that it runs at a crisp, smooth 144 frames a second.
This game it looked
on
it
my
really
4-year-old
looks-
graphics card.
It looks fantastic. It's gorgeous to watch. Someone in my chat when I was playing it today mentioned it looked like Breath of the Wild. That's kind of spot on.
It's
with
it's clearer than Breath of
It's
the Wild.
very
with-
pretty.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: 'cause Pokemon Sword runs like garbage, and most times.
yeah. It was
really
pointed
does.
out for me because I didn't get to this.
Muddled
I didn't get
textures.
to this point in the game in Shield when Gathalion tweeted about it day one. But then when I got to the wild area, I saw what he meant. He was saying that like the performance in the wild area is like a 3DS game, and it's really disappointing
Yeah.
for this being the first release on the Switch.
Yeah, it's like they just made a 3DS port. Anyway,
Yeah.
How long's Temtem been around?
just came out in early access.
This
Oh,
Tuesday,
cool.
Is their launch.
yesterday was their early access launch. So before that, it was all alpha test. It was all closed.
And you guys
systems.
think that that's probably going to come to consoles?
It's slated for 2021 for all consoles,
Oh,
For everything.
including Switch. Yeah,
I could try it out.
it might be worth a go.
So in terms of the experience playing it, it was extremely rough.
Yeah.
Both yesterday and today. They were apparently not only were they not ready for like 50,000 players, was the number they were reporting
Actually,
on their
I have-
servers.
I have an article up.
Is that a lot for MMOs?
I mean, I don't know, but
This is a
but for
small
them-
team. Who knows how big their servers are? They could have been on fire all day yesterday.
Yeah.
They reported being DDoSed all
I was
day.
gonna say that too. Yeah.
But not because of an attack, but because they just
Both. They were attacked.
Pokemon
Which they then dealt
no,
with.
But is DDoS always an attack, or I thought DDoS sometimes was just
They
them fucking
they
not
have
knowing what
they
they were
used it
doing.
in both senses is what I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
They
okay.
communicated that they were being DDoSed and they figured out a way to mitigate that attack, but that effectively the same thing was happening, but now by legitimate players.
I think it would be safe to assume that hard Pokemon fans probably are.
Who tried to DDoS? it?
don't know. Let's not start
not-
a narrative.
Fuck.
Stop it.
Fight.
Stop
fight.
it.
Fight.
Stop it. We're not making this a thing.
Okay.
We have no evidence. No one knows who was DDoSing.
Yeah, okay.
And
I like that. I was,
had a lot
bet-
of.
bet- I was about to ride
I
that
know, you
fucking
were.
conspiracy
Don't
wave.
do
I
it.
know.
Don't do it.
I know.
When
Someone
I
was
was
even halfway
on it.
through and be like, "Oh my God, Game Freak was DDoSing the
Oh my-
developer."
no,
of
not
Temtem?"
not Game Freak. Pokemon stands.
It's what I'm using is an example of what people hear halfway through a
Oh,
show.
sure.
And we're not. We're
We ain't
going to
about
be
that.
responsible
Um,
with our reporting.
I gotta tell you though, even when I played the stress tests, the pre-beta
Yeah.
before launch this past 2 weeks, constant disconnects,
Yeah.
hangs on doing certain things.
There's still things that hang. I actually ended my game when I froze opening up a little like item box out in the wild.
Yeah, me too.
Some item boxes work. Some item boxes literally just hard lock your game. Me and our friend Abrupt from the Discord server, we were actually teaming up yesterday in the game, which again is something that Pokemon doesn't have. Like direct, you can explore the game world together with your friend.
You don't have to tell me how awesome it is to play a game you've played for years and then suddenly realize you can play it with your friends.
And it works
Yes.
really intuitively because all of the battles in Temtem are 2v2.
Designed
Whether you're
for
by
it.
yourself or with your friend. If you're by yourself, you throw out 2 Temtem. If you're by a friend, you would each throw
yeah,
out
you
1.
can play it really well alone as much as you can play it with your friends.
Exactly. Exactly. So we were in the game together yesterday. We found a weird multiplayer bug where he initiated a trainer battle, which then brings you to that point because I had done it earlier. But in this specific trainer, there was like quest dialogue that he got that I didn't get. Like I got like the reference string. It was like dialogue 19-0.
Oh no.
And then my game was frozen.
Oh,
but
no.
he continued playing, even though we were still in a group, according to his.
Watching your streams,
his,
'cause you had like a
game.
dual stream going
Yeah.
on. I saw a lot of menus, a lot of logging in to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I turned back around, I was like, oh no.
I called it a queue simulator.
Yeah.
2020. They were just nothing but leaving and getting back in a queue. So they fixed. I mean, The Temtem devs were just on it yesterday, literally
very
throughout
communicative
the night, and even today. Like, not only pushing out fixes, but tweeting about fixes, which a lot of developers don't do in the early hours of their game, at least not, very good ones. And it really kind of shows their commitment to the project and being able to
and it's
turn
still
stuff around really, really
far
quickly.
not a complete game.
No, even today I thought we'd have a better experience, and I sat at a black screen after the queue of like 8,000 people. Sat at a black screen after I said play the game. That happened 3 times, waiting at least 10 minutes on each black screen until I said, I'm done streaming. This was at like 4 p.m. I finished the stream. I hosted Abrupt. I went, quit, end stream. The game lets me in.
Motherfucker.
So then I just turned it back on. I was like, all right,
It's
we're in
frustrating.
here until I get kicked out once, and then it actually lasted till I had to leave for the podcast. But yeah, it's still got a lot of growing pains, still very rough. But when it's in and when it's working,
Yeah,
it's so nice.
it is.
It's so nice.
I got to give mad props to the battle system itself because they do something pretty different than what Pokemon has done forever, which is the PP system.
Yep.
With the way they do it.
Yeah.
So what Temtem does is, which really impressed me, was you have a meter of how many times you can use certain attacks, and the value of certain attacks are
They call it stamina, but it's
Yeah.
effectively like a magic bar for your moves.
I would
Yeah.
say it's an easy comparison. Some moves you can't use until you've warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just go in there with your heavy hitter every time like you can in Pokemon.
Exactly.
And some moves can only last certain turns. Some Temtem have natures, and the natures play a key role in because you'll catch the same Temtem. They all have different natures.
Mm-hmm.
Some will resist sleep. Some will not hurt your friend when you're in combat with him using an area move.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of different things that you synergize with the dual fights, which is really makes you think a little bit deeper than just throw your guy out there, hit him with the fire and the water.
It's a great point, and
Yeah.
every aspect of battle seems to have been thought about more deeply by the Temtem team versus the Pokemon team.
It does, yeah.
Like a lot of it. Like, and you regenerate that stamina every turn, so you can make decisions about whether you want to play a move, whether you want to wait. If you play a move that takes more stamina than you have, it eats away at your health.
Yep. So that encourages you not to use those heavy hitters. Save the heavy hitters.
Or make a strategic play if you know you're going to take somebody out, and kind of survive it.
some
Like
chip
there's
damage.
more angles of thinking and more angles of approach than
which
straight up Pokemon.
I think is going to be its strength. And I know they only have like
for sure.
90 Temtem right now, but it's early access. They're going to release more. I have no doubt that this is going to be building itself into a very good game.
They have their own version of Shiny as well.
Okay, what is it?
They're called Lumas,
Ooh, do
they're
they shine?
differently colored. I don't know what the official appearance animation is, but I have to find out so I don't miss one when one does show up. Apparently, they're rarer than Shinies. The Shiny,
Still never seen a shiny.
I haven't. Oh, I think actually no funny. Me and my
Never seen
brother
a shiny.
saw one doing a max raid battle on Christmas together in
dare you.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Didn't catch it though. No, but I think the Pokemon Shiny rate is like 1 in 4,800, maybe something like that.
Okay.
This is 1 in 6,000, so it's even a little tougher
Ugh.
to find a Luma in here. But I have a lot of faith in this game and a lot of promise for it. I can't recommend that people play it right now. I really can't, based on my experience actually being in the game. Like I racked up, you know how Steam tells you like that you can get a refund within the first 3 hours. I hit my 3 hours, and I felt like I played 5 minutes of the game when it first launched. So
Damn it.
it can go into points where it's very, very, very rough to sit through, which of course will get better. But I would wait at least until it does to actually hop in. But once it becomes stable, I think this game runs very well for early access. It is very complete.
It's optimized.
As of
like,
right now,
that's
yeah.
one thing for sure.
Yeah.
When it's running perfectly.
Yep.
So
So yeah,
There you
that was
go.
Temtem. I'll be streaming it. I'll be playing it more as long as I can get in with the servers.
and I would like to watch you play more. I would buy it, but I got this VR headset thing.
No,
so
dude,
my money's
wait until they look.
Looks pretty neat.
I'm gonna
though.
try and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's got a lot
It's
more
a game
dynamism
that you can play online and with people
with people.
or without. Really enjoy it, and it's
Oh,
just,
and the music slaps.
it slaps.
It's so good, dude. Epic violins and just nice, cheery tunes depending on where you're at. It's so
Good battle themes. Yeah.
So good.
Hell yeah.
All right,
All right. Shall we get to the news?
let's get to a little bit of news.
All right. So today, this is breaking news as of today. Xbox. Somebody posted pictures of a prototype Xbox Series X.
Now, do we know this is real?
Yes, because on Twitter, a dude went, "Hey, I just registered this serial number to my Xbox account.
I saw that.
Xbox, please don't ban me."
Do we know that's real? I guess what's the point of
It's
being
not real.
a full cynic, right? I don't know.
I don't. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Xbox had a really very broad statement about the comment on this.
Oh, that means that it's real.
Yeah. They're gonna
Because
share
they
more
didn't
later.
say that it was fake.
So, funny thing, the biggest complaint I've seen in this, one thing to notice,
Mm-hmm.
no 2 HDMI slots,
There's only one.
only one. So they're not continuing with the input with the Xbox One.
It was a weird play by the Xbox One to try to become like your media
media
center in your
So
house.
that shows you that they're
Don't
not,
we already know what this looks like anyway?
we do, but this is the first time we've seen the back of it.
Oh, the
They've
ports,
just
yeah.
shown us like the marketing image of like the front kind of isometric view of this thing
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fridge view.
One thing noticeably
Yeah.
missing,
yeah. I got to see more photoshops of that.
it's great, dude.
So many good ones.
another thing noticeably missing, no USB-C,
I know. Yeah,
which people
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
people comment on.
That's a little fucking backward.
I think it is. Yeah.
So, but
Not a
it's
very
but it's a
future-focused
prototype.
decision.
It's a prototype. This is
Oh.
probably not the finished product.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. There's actually another picture. Where are they at? Where are they at? Anyway, so I thought this was interesting. Here it is. There's the front one. Looks real to me. That's all I'm saying. Looks like that machine that we saw
Yeah.
on that screen on the Game Awards. But yeah, real interesting stuff. This guy posted.
I'm always just a
some specs.
little bit.
Do
I
you,
don't know,
do you
skeptic.
think their choice to, if they omitted USB-C, do you think their choice to omit USB-C is because of the perceived technological divide that exists
If
in
anything-
the gaming community? Like there are,
No, USB-C, if anything, is a unifying piece of.
It is, and
I don't
all Logic
disagree
boards
with
now,
that argument.
And all Logic boards now have
They
USB-C,
do
at least one port.
And let's say phones are. I can see the controllers being USB-C as well. It just seems like
it just seems like that's where you would go. You would go to
that's
USB-C.
the direction you go. Yeah. I can see you having USB-A ports on there like they have here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, USB-C would be a very.
and they're not on the front
important
or
thing.
somewhere else.
No, the front had. It looks like it had just a. I don't know. Is that
One
I,
USB
What, I
looks
don't know
like.
what that is. That's not.
Maybe power reset, and that's your eject.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Because you probably wouldn't press that.
Wait, it still takes optical media?
Yeah. We're not done that. We're not done yet.
They've said that this is fully backwards compatible across any generation of Xbox.
Oh, so you can put in any old disc.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading that to mean Xbox
OG.
discs you can put in there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be putting some discs in that.
I'm expecting.
I like
to.
the design of that. I am definitely buying that.
Yeah, it's a very
I like
clean
the
design.
It's very cool. Might sit very nicely vertically in that slot.
And,
right
yeah,
there.
there's like a slide
It's
down
perfect for
It's
right
waiting
there, dude.
for you.
Yeah.
It's waiting for
There's
that
a nice
slot.
underneath his TV right there for it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing
It
to
is
bring
interesting.
up,
I wonder if they are going to like sneak in USB-Cs on the final actual box.
and they very well could.
They definitely could.
And I have a feeling, like, do you think that's why Sony has waited this long to reveal their box? Because they did this.
They want to know for as late as possible
I mean,
what they're working with.
design's gotta
Does
be close to
their
final
machine
now.
actually look like the fucking fake images? I think they're fake images online.
With the
that-
dev units,
Have you seen the
Where
ones
it's like
that look
a
like a
U and
fucking
a-
horseshoe?
and a-
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it really looks like that?
I don't think the final one's going to look like that. No,
Jesus Christ. That's
All right.
atrocious look.
it's a weird design.
That is a piece of shit.
I don't even know what
if
benefit
I've ever seen one.
the dev unit has being shaped like that, unless it's like a heating thing. And if it's a heating thing, then maybe the final design is that.
It's
Yeah.
fucking ugly. I hope it's
But
not.
look, I mean, are you gonna be looking at it that much?
My penis could create something better than that.
Your penis can actually.
Yeah, my penis.
Physically
my
create-
penis fucking knits socks.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
A multi-talented
that's
penis.
what I'm saying. We used to talk
Well-
in absurdist ways like that when I was young and drunk.
I'm sure no one does that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, until your penis makes its own console, we have to live with whatever these designs
Yes,
are.
you do, man.
Oh man.
Speaking of-
dude, back in
You ready
the
for the
day,
next piece of news?
we used to say that so often. It was
What?
so funny. You would
Until your
just in the
penis
mid-
makes a new console.
But somebody be saying something that they love,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like that's my favorite thing, and then the other person would just go, "My penis makes something better than that," you know, like my penis
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
make something better than that.
People used to say I got more talent in my pinky finger, but no.
Yeah.
I got more talent
It's
in my
like a
penis.
riff. It's a riff on saying that, like more talent on my
yeah.
pinky finger.
That's good.
That's
So,
so fun.
Trip, I have bad news for you.
I know what this is.
And I picked this out specifically for you.
I know what this news is.
Dying Light 2 has been delayed indefinitely.
I didn't know about the indefinitely part.
It's part of the
Why?
tweet.
Sir.
Do they not understand? Oh,
What
did they
do
run
you
out of money?
mean?
Did Techland run out of money?
They aimed for spring 2020, so that was very soon.
Unfortunately, need more development time to fulfill our vision.
We will have more details to share in coming months, and we will
I
get back to you
didn't
as
know
soon as
it
more
was
information.
Indefinite, bro.
Running out of money.
Yeah, and now keep in mind this was a very ambitious game.
Okay.
Do you know like the details of like how they're designing this game?
I don't actually. I forgot how what they've marketed this as.
When they last showed it off at E3, so it's your normal
It's
Dying
your
Light
Dying Light
fare.
experience. Dying Light is like
Played the whole
we
game.
played, but to listeners out there, it's like it's a zombie survival game.
Parkour.
It's parkour oriented. It's very fast paced, first person.
Night day cycle.
Very easily co-opable. I played almost the entirety co-op with my
sounds
friends.
awesome.
Yeah, like
You
it
were
just
about
was-
ready to Dying Light explain me.
Yeah.
Well, I did it for the listeners out there,
okay.
but I was gonna.
You forgot
Yeah,
that
I
I
was gonna
played.
zombie explain you.
I think I played it before you did.
We played it together. We've definitely been in groups together.
Did we?
Yeah. No, I don't think we did it extensively, but we were.
Oh,
jammed.
okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
We
now.
jammed.
I tried it for like 3 or 4 hours, and I don't think it really held me.
Oh, I fucking
When I played
loved
with-
it, dude.
no,
And
no.
The coolest mechanic, again, for people that don't know, when it became night in this game,
Yeah.
there were
crazy.
like zombies that came out that hunted the fuck out of you. They could like hear and see like crazy, and they were actually terrifying because they were
Aggressive.
so fast, aggressive, and the game is built to be, like we said, a parkour game. So there's not just like straight channels and corridors and lanes and alleyways to run in. You've got to actually be dynamic with where you choose to go.
Yeah.
And if you run into one of these things and you're not prepared with like an escape route, it is scary as fuck, dude.
I remember now. We played Dying Light together. I was going to say years. That's fucking stupid. Months after I played it in full alone. And then you got into it, and I saw that you and Janie Cat and a few other people were like on this bandwagon of much later.
Kevin Oates was in it.
Yeah,
we had other
much
friends
later
in it.
bandwagon. You had all bought it, and you were all playing it together.
Yeah.
And then I joined in that and played a few sessions with you with my was it with my character, or do you think I started?
I honestly don't know.
I can't remember if I
yeah.
could have brought my character in
Yeah.
to the with all the weapons I had, but I did something, and I remember us doing that much later.
The cool, I don't want to say gimmick, but the cool twist about Dying Light 2,
Yeah.
the thing they were adding was during different missions and certain events, the one example that they were giving was the narrative could twist and change depending on what you do. Let's say, for example, you can choose to flood a part of the city or sacrifice a group of survivors,
Yeah.
right? And that would ultimately change the way the game is structured. So you would lose access to parts of the cities, and like they were using that as an example, ultimately changing the way the rest of the game plays out. So it does sound really ambitious because from a narrative standpoint, man, that could really put a pin in your development when you're trying to
Yeah,
craft
think of all the
something
different
like
ways that the game could go,
possibilities.
and
Yeah.
especially if you're influencing the story with like the things you choose to do to the environment,
yeah.
that has to take just an insane amount of coding to make that work flawlessly.
And especially since from a gameplay perspective, the environment is like your traversal. It's like it's part of what you do to get around, right? Like the environment is the thing that you're moving through.
And if they end up pulling off what they're describing, they pull off like you're taking the sandbox to the next level, where your NPCs, your characters, actually recognize directly what you've done to the world, as opposed to just certain flags that happen because you interacted with what that character's path said you were going to interact with.
Right.
Usually in a sandbox, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want, and it's not going to affect the world. There's like a story, and there's like your Skyrim-ness or whatever you're doing to the world. But like if these are intertwined, that changes almost everything about open world games. So it could be massive, and makes a lot more sense now why they've put an indefinite timer on this.
The last demo from last year, they were like, demo was shown, turning the water on the pumps opens a dam which lowers the water level, exposing an entire neighborhood, creates new areas to explore, while also awakening powerful zombies. but it also clears a path for the peacekeepers to launch a full there's like dynamic
Yeah, there's multiple things that happen
happening.
from one decision. Yeah.
Or you can cut off yourself to these parts of the cities. So ultimately, like, it's a lot more choice based.
Yeah.
Which could be cool.
It sounds like it's going to be
cool.
amazing. Yeah.
But at the same time,
But
they need more time.
We never gonna get it.
So
I did want to say one comment about that beast, that monster that comes out at night.
yeah.
Say one thing about it.
It got much easier as the game went on. That was my only gripe. It didn't learn with you.
Well, did you
I think
did you
said
level your character up?
Yeah,
you level the character.
By the time I got to end game, the way I played it, I was too high level to feel like anything was a threat anymore.
I got some charts for you, Felix. Some great charts about progression and the way games work.
You definitely also unlock skills and tools that help you.
Meaning there's a better way of playing it?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, some games work differently, like Zelda, for example. That's a game, the enemies never get stronger, really, right? But you get stronger because you find new items and you get new things. So the curve goes up like this, right? In difficulty, you're getting stronger. But then there's RPGs where the enemies try and level with you, and so both are going up at the same time now. But Dying Light could be one of those Zelda situations where the zombies are always the same, or you get the special zombies in whichever case, and then you still get a different line. Like so,
I'm telling you
get
that
stronger,
it
higher,
definitely
and
felt like
faster.
the former of the two.
Yeah.
The enemies don't seem to level, and then you just get better at avoiding everything.
Yeah.
You become like a super zombie hunter toward the end of that.
I mean, that sounds cool.
I think that's kind of how they designed it, though. Like you needed to get. It was a lot to get to that point, but when you did, your arsenal of tools, your skills,
Everything becomes easier to do. Yeah.
I got, but I remember. Okay, what I'm trying to point out is I remember the game getting boring toward the end because I was
The challenge.
so
Right.
super.
Right away.
And I kind of liked that early on. I'm worried,
just
the city's a threat.
shitting
but
your
when
pants,
I knew the map
sneaking
really
through,
well,
yeah.
and I knew where zombies would come from and things like that, like I got too powerful. But like, did that mean I hated the game? No. The only thing I hated in that game was the final fight, which is all cutscenes. I hated it, or not cutscenes. Quick time events.
Yeah,
hated that.
Yeah, QTEs are never good.
All right, ready for the next news, guys?
Let's do it.
So I don't know if you guys talked about this last week because there were a lot of
We did not.
delays.
This happened the day after.
I think so. I think you're right.
The day after we
I think you're
talked
right.
about it, it was like on Thursday. They announced
Cyberpunk
this.
2077 delayed till September.
Cyberpunk. No.
Now you're right. It wasn't on the show last week because you and Diamond were talking about being conflicted with Final
Diamond
Fantasy VII.
literally
I
said.
wasn't conflicted with Final Fantasy VII.
Me and Diamond
No,
were
I
talking.
said
about
I
no.
it.
know
Diamond,
you
yeah.
were, but I'm conflicted with another game that comes out at the beginning of that month that I'm going to play,
Resident Evil
and
3.
is not going to exactly.
Right.
It's not going to get delayed.
So good news is Cyberpunk got the fuck out of those.
This
delays.
this is good. Right. This is good for enjoyment of all the 2020 games.
But hang on. But now it's in September, which is we'll know what the consoles are.
It's also
We're gonna know what games are coming out.
It's a notoriously big Destiny month.
Destiny month, okay. But like we're gonna know the fall lineup by then.
Yeah.
And Cyberpunk is now right smack in the middle of that almost.
September is safe though. It's a safe bet because the only game that I can think about that does big launches on any kind of pattern is Destiny.
Yeah.
And
but that's like
other IP is going to like be end of September into the fall because they want to hit that fall market.
Yeah, that's true.
September is about the earliest you can hit a fall
before
Christmas
getting in,
market
before getting
for
in
a
that
holiday
packed time.
Yeah. I think they've picked a good time to exist in, but you're not wrong in having to see what else it's going to conflict with because it could happen.
It could happen. But the good news is now I'm not conflicted about rushing Final Fantasy VII or even getting the game.
I'm in the same boat as you for that.
So now
for sure.
It's an easy get for me. I'm going to get Final Fantasy VII.
We'll have Animal Crossing, unless that gets delayed too. Who knows? We'll be back next week. We'll find out.
Nintendo's awfully quiet so far this year. They have no games right
Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy VII are free to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
As the time sinks
Resident
that they
Evil
most
3,
likely will be.
Possibly as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put my all into Resident Evil 3 now, so fuck it.
That's definitely a game I'd be all about doing as well.
And what's Last of Us May?
I
think it is May.
I actually have the dates right here.
So really, I'm only playing 2 games come this spring now.
It is May 29th. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just playing Resident Evil 3. Sorry, I forgot. I'm playing Resident Evil 3. I'm playing Last of Us 2. And I'm not going to fucking hold my breath. playing Fallout Wastelanders.
Is that an expansion for?
They have
76?
said 2020.
It's the NPC expansion.
They've led us all to believe. They've let us all.
So
believe.
they're building Fallout 5 piece by piece. This is the NPC update.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So excited for that.
Fallout 5, baby.
Fallout 5. It's been here the whole time. You just didn't know.
No, but here's what I think is going to happen. They're leading us to believe that it's happening in the spring, and I guarantee it's going to be pushed back to the fall.
I mean, that would just be
Honestly,
par for the course.
that wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise
at
me at
all.
all.
At the latest, it would
I'd
just.
place that bet.
I'd be like, makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense to me. They just
Everyone go cool.
duct tape this
cool,
game together more.
Cool.
Even money.
Anyway, but Cyberpunk. That's okay. So
I mean, it's
I brought this
sad
up.
because I was so close that I could taste
Yeah.
living in that world, but I'll take a delay for a better final product.
But here's a
every day.
negative that came out right after the delay hit, and this was a.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
So they were asked, "Are you guys putting in overtime hours? Are you crunching?" And the director said, "Well, yeah, to some degree, yes, we are."
Yeah.
And you're like, but like you're delaying the game, and you already had the release date, so you thought you were going to release it in this window, even though you've been developing for 7+ years, and now you're still going to crunch your employees to get this out by September. Like, how much? Like, does it need another year? Are they trying to beat the consoles? Are they pushing it into the other consoles?
Yeah, I mean, I got to side with them for a second, though. It's got to be so hard to estimate this shit, dude. You know? And then tell a group of people a year ahead of time that it's going to be ready in a year when you think it might be ready. Like, you have no idea what you're going to run into development-wise along that year. Like, it's got to be the most impossible and thankless task of scheduling this shit out because, of course, everyone is going to react strongly about a delay. Everyone's going to be worried about,
CD
overtime
Projekt's
and
gotten
crunch and
criticized for
work.
this before. Like,
Yeah.
heavily criticized about them crunching for Witcher 3. And they said the whole game's playable right now. It just needs a couple months to bug fix and polish.
Yeah.
Which is usually how that goes. And I think, if I know them right, they're going to want to release a game that isn't buggy to all hell. Being the ambitious game that they're making.
Can you imagine, like,
Yeah.
the
imagine.
weight that this game has on its shoulders coming out?
It's quite a lot.
If
The
it-
hype
if it-
train is real.
If it does not come out near flawless, and of course every game is going to have some kind of problem that they can't envision without millions of people playing the game. So again, we should temper those expectations. It's going to be absolutely perfect, but it needs to be near perfect.
Yeah.
The Witcher was a fantastic launch, so I'm not worried about their launch of this game.
Yeah, apparently it was delayed 3 months originally. From
The Witcher.
Witcher 3,
Yeah.
So this is a move that they've made
Maybe
before
for
that
me-
they need to make. So I'm okay with it.
I am also okay with it.
For me,
but I don't want them to kill themselves doing it.
No, I don't. I mean, no one wants that, but I think we're as a community of gamers really, really, really focused on developer crunch to the workers, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm minimizing this in any way, but crunch in a lot of industries
Is real.
happens, and it's a capitalism problem, not a video game development problem.
Oh, 100%.
100% a capitalism
I
problem.
think the fact that they're acknowledging that this is a thing and that it is an issue, but they're saying, look, there's going to be sometimes overwork or a lot of work or overtime, I should say. I think them talking about it means they can have healthy, intelligent conversations about it, and they're going to be communicative to their workers. They're going to let them decide what needs to be done, what they want to do. It certainly to me sounds different than like a lot of the forced crunch, just unspoken, silent workhorse hours of the past.
And the problem that, like, the moral dilemma you get when you see these kinds of issues are, well, I want the developers who worked hard on the game to make a living. So do I buy the game, or do I go, no, I don't want to support these practices and ignore the game and not buy it? This is like the current dilemma I see in a lot of discourse online. I'm obviously going
I
to be
always
getting
buy
this
the game. I'm just a fucking dick.
I don't think you're a dick. I just think I'm still getting the game, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want these developers to not get burnt out so they can make more games, and for our enjoyment that we love so dearly.
That's
you know what
true.
It's true.
I mean? But
That's true.
you know what I mean? Because the video game industry is a reported industry where burnout happens way more than other industries. A lot of times. I'm not saying
I'd say
it's
outside of like technology, tech
Yeah.
development has insane crunches.
They do. They really do.
Japanese culture has a forest that people go to and commit suicide in. I think that's worse.
They do. That is
As
pretty
Sleeping
bad.
Flower pointed out, they sell suits in 7-Eleven so that after you've slept in your capsule hotel, you can get a fresh pair of clothes to go back to your job because you worked and were out so late.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. That's the
It's
thing.
nothing compared to what we
Their
got.
but they have a different cultural issue.
Oh no.
That's like stemmed in their culture. Japan has a lot of issues that
I know.
we could get into. I could do a whole podcast on.
We cannot
the
do
cultural
that
of
without
Japan.
Flower here.
I agree. That would be a good thing for her. She's going there soon, actually. I think
I know she is.
going back to Japan. All right, I'm gonna bring up the last story of the night.
Let's do it.
I was deciding between two stories, and we got some Nintendo leaks. These happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
New Paper Mario, new 2D Metroid.
Those are the leaks.
Cool. Those are the leaks.
They say we'll probably get.
I'm assuming we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct. We need to know what we're getting in Q2. We don't know yet. We just know Animal Crossing and this Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which I could care less about.
I'd play.
That's it.
I'd get and play a new Metroid game.
I think everyone would.
Everyone would. Yeah, dude. A 2D Switch-centered Metroid game?
Yeah, I'd do
You
it.
kidding me? Are you kidding me?
So
Is that all we have? Just the fact that they may possibly.
It's just a rumor. Rumors and leaks, y'all. This is what we got.
Who's the
Delays and leaks.
prolific leaker? What else are they leaking?
I think there's a guy he's been leaking a lot of stuff. Like I think Breath of the Wild 2 was rumored, and this guy, I don't know. I don't really care as much.
Somebody was talking about something that could be released on the Switch recently at my job, and I don't remember what it is, but I'd say, yeah, I'd buy that. I don't remember.
Say that a
what
lot
it
though.
is. Yeah, I mean, it's
Here's
could be
the-
any manner of thing.
Here's the real final story. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us Part 2 job listing asks for PC, DirectX 12, and NVIDIA experience. Naughty Dog listing job listings. PC, DirectX 12, NVIDIA experience.
Is that normal? Like, I don't know
So-
what you're reading.
Oh, as
Think
in
about
like a launch for Last of Us 2 on the PC.
Maybe. First party developer Naughty Dog get hiring for
Wait, is Last of Us
NVIDIA?
currently not available on PC?
Correct.
You
No, it is not available.
You can only play the Last of Us original game on a PS4.
PlayStation consoles, yes.
Holy shit.
That's an exclusive first-party title. Last week, Horizon Zero Dawn rumored and I believe announced for PC. Right?
Yeah.
Was that not a thing? That was a thing, right?
All I saw about Horizon Zero Dawn that it became available on PS Now. That's all I saw.
That's not important. What's important is it coming out on PC.
Right. That's
Because it's a first-party studio owned by Sony releasing a game that's only been on Sony platforms by Sony developers on PC. Now, it makes more sense because Decima Engine, we already know is coming to PC because Death Stranding will be out this summer on PC,
Yeah,
right? So, yeah, what is going on with that? That's so weird.
it's just my computer.
So,
Oh, Restream Chat doing that shit? It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
all,
logging them out.
all in the motherfucking time.
So it's really interesting that they're doing this. Now, there's a lot of implications for Horizon going to PC because a whole nother user base of people will be able to play the game. B, you got hardware of all kinds that can play the game to crazy levels. And remember how good that game looked.
I was just thinking about
Like, are
the
you kidding me?
potential of
RTX.
Horizon Zero Dawn on a
It-
computer.
Was fucking beautiful.
It's amazing. And
The
this
God rays.
is this Sony going, okay,
The God rays.
we have this platform that we can release on, Horizon, and a whole player base that has never touched it before. Money,
Yeah.
baby, that's money. So the implications here that Last of Us that Naughty Dog is hiring people that program for NVIDIA, which, as we know, the graphics chip
In the PS4.
is an AMD chip. DirectX 12, which is a Windows-based architecture with which games run on, and voila, is Naughty Dog making a PC game, or are they hiring to port things to PCs? Like, I don't know, the Uncharted collection, or something of that
I
nature.
mean, yeah, if you want to start rumors, you could literally choose anything that they've ever put out and be like, what about that? Is that coming through?
So, here's my guess. Here's my tinfoil hat theory. E3 time, PS5 announce time. Whenever Sony gets on a fucking stage again, because they're not going to E3 this year, they're
They're
going to
gonna, they're gonna talk about whatever this, not this specifically, but whatever they have to talk about for 2020 will be around E3 time, just on their own event.
Not
No,
I know.
Yeah, they're not gonna be at E3,
they're not
but they're
gonna be
gonna
at the
definitely communicate
proper,
in that time frame.
Next time they get on stage, I bet we figure out what the fuck's going on with this and Horizon, if it's coming, if they're gonna have a PC effort, if they're announcing they're doing Microsoft's doing a being.
You think they're hiring so close to an announcement? They're not going to hire, work a little bit, and then next year be like, hey, we got this stuff happening.
I think Horizon on PC is ready
And they just need optimization.
because this is Naughty Dog, not just what Naughty Dog needs, but Horizon, I think, is ready because Death Stranding is coming out this summer. Kojima's team had most of Horizon's team, most of Guerrilla Games.
I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, like it wasn't all Kojima's team. It was a lot of. I think even Naughty Dog had their hand in Death Stranding as well, but it was a lot of hands-on from Guerrilla Games.
I gotta finish that.
Yeah,
I really do.
It's really good, kind of.
I just got preoccupied with games I didn't finish from 2 years ago.
I know what's up with
That's
that.
the never-ending problem.
I mean, I could give you a suggestion. You can put down Fallout 76 for a minute.
Oh, fuck that.
All right, well,
Never doing that.
Anyway.
Dude, I'm fucking addicted to that fucking game. I love it.
Look,
Dude,
if anyone
happy for you.
understands at this table, I understand.
I just want to
one's-
shout.
no one's judging you.
I want to
Just
shout
helping
somebody
you
out. All right, if you are a Fallout 76 fan, there is a really good YouTuber named Wickety Chickadee, okay, who creates these comprehensive, in-depth. She's as passionate about Fallout 76 as me. She plays PC, which is even more shocking because she's as passionate about PC version of Fallout 76. That makes no sense.
which is more broken.
But I wanna give a shout out to her because she does these really great comprehensive videos. But even she is not like completely happy with the state of Fallout First.
I don't think that you
all
could
that
be a
shit.
player of that game and be happy with it. You have to like it for a different reason.
Yeah, it's
What you guys talked about last week.
what
You and Diamond.
what are we talking about?
What compels you to like something that is probably not on the whole good?
Right on the whole good.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good sum up of what you guys talked about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
Without
appreciate. That's a good-
rehashing
Yeah.
all the
But-
nuances. Listen to our last episode.
Yeah, but what do you? Yeah, go back a week ago. But what do you guys think of this whole thing with Sony's doing? Do you think they're doing a Microsoft push? But when I say that, I mean the thing that Microsoft's doing, where they're like, Halo's coming out on PC and Xbox, and you're gonna play our games anywhere.
I mean,
and blah 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 blah.
This is
blah.
the first I've heard of it, so I would need more time to gather information and kind of make up my own mind
be
about
fucking
what
smart.
they're doing themselves. But like he just said, it would be
be
the
smart.
move in this current like gaming climate where there's a lot there's always been a lot
Choice.
And
there's a lot of choice, but there's always been a lot of focus on PC as like the preferred platform. But all these console makers have stayed very much in the console lane, and now there's a lot more games that are cross-play, cross-save. Things are crossing these barriers a lot more, so I think people are more comfortable also releasing to PC in addition to consoles.
and dumb fucks make it so every fucking game on PS Now can be a downloadable game, like Xbox is already doing with their Game Pass.
Yeah.
Why is it that there is a small portion of games in there that can be actually downloaded to my fucking console? I can't live stream a game, and stream the game. I can't stream it to my... Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
No, it's okay. Don't hurt me.
He's very mad.
There's
Help
an
us.
acceptable collection. Believe me,
Jesus
there's a shit ton of games in the downloadable section.
Yeah.
But most of them are trash that I'll never play.
That technology
You
was
put
acquired.
trash in there.
That is not at all what we're talking about here.
No,
but
it's
maybe
not.
one day that could be better.
No, but it's
for you.
it's a thing on the list for Sony. They
For
gotta,
Sony,
like,
yeah.
Submit
Things they
these
need
to
to
their
fix.
list. I
Get
got
the
you.
shit
So
done. Check it off.
that was a third-party technology that they bought like fucking forever ago.
So it's
called
old.
Gaikai. Well, and then that was their plan with it. They I don't think they ever planned on taking it further than streaming because
That has no foresight.
no,
They could
well,
watch Netflix having all the success.
You have
and
to
they're
under-
like, what are they thinking?
You have to understand where Sony was at the time they bought it
I get
because
it.
they bought it during
You are
the PS3
steering.
era.
You are steering a truck that's driving down the lane of PC porting potential, just into the brick wall of. Well, why
Streaming.
does their streaming platform not let me download games? And you are hands on the wheel. We're trying to keep it on the road, and you want to drive us into the median for some reason.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
we're talking about Sony
what's happening right
launching
now.
their actual first-party titles like God of War.
I know.
On a
I
PC
know
platform.
that.
No, I know.
I'm not
I know.
detracting from your shit.
No, it's not. No,
It's
no.
really important that you can play Horizon on PC because I want to watch you fucking play it.
I mean, I already played it. I'm not going to buy it again.
You're not going to buy it again?
No, I played it. I've been there.
Yeah,
I
you're right. So
experienced
did
it.
I.
I experienced it. And I still have it on PS4 on my shelf. Like I don't. But this is good for the potential of expanding Sony's market share, right? Because before consoles were always about selling the hardware and keeping you on that hardware. Play our games because our games are hotness, right? They wanted you to come to that. But now the climate's changed. Now it's not the same anymore.
It's definitely not.
We're seeing consoles become a completely
changing
different
right
beast.
now.
Physical things are changing too rapidly, and what people need to do, if they haven't already, is flex their overall software brand. That's going to be where the wars are at.
That's where the war's at. I made a point about these next consoles coming out. I was talking in like Discord or whatever, not on ours. I was talking about how our console generations are already different. We're not going to see the same anymore. PS4 Pro and Xbox One X changed that for us already.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be seeing incremental PC-like upgrades to these consoles now forever because they're going to need to step up with technology. All these future consoles sound like they're all backwards compatible. We don't know for sure yet. So you're potentially seeing, do you want a PC in your living room that's an all-in-one box that plays the games? Or would you like to play them from the PC that you're comfortable with that you want to play it on? And I think that's where we're going. These consoles, as far as hopefully in the next gen, Felix, cross-play abound.
I can't wait.
We don't need to worry about this. This is me. I'm big braining it right now. You know what I mean? Consoles, Felix, that next gen, we're gonna be able to play together, PC and PS5.
Yeah, I don't want to have to buy Fallout 6 times.
But he would.
But
for the
he's
record.
gonna. I can't.
Yo, I'm
For the
even like,
record.
with all this. Oh my God, Trip Zero. With all this fucking like Skyrim on Elder Scrolls Online, I'm like, you know what I should do? I should just buy Elder
very
Scrolls Online
scary.
again and pay for Fallout 76 twice. I should just. Is it in my budget?
Oh my God.
Can I do it? I can
Stop
play
it.
Sky. I can play,
Please.
but I didn't. I didn't.
Please.
I'm just saying I
Please
did.
stop it.
I did.
Okay.
I didn't give Bethesda money for 3 subscriptions. I
Not
did.
yet. Not yet. You've already thought. You've had the seed of thought
The seed
in your
of
brain.
thought is there. The seed of thought is there.
God.
That's why I went and bought other really cheap things and downloaded things from PS Now to distract me away from bad decisions.
Let me spend my money on all of these little shitty
I didn't really
things, not
spend. I
one
didn't really
big
spend
shitty
money.
thing.
A couple were PS Now, and then there was
Sure.
the $5 Rayman Legends thing, and whatever. Fuck it.
Sure.
We'll do it.
Oh,
Can't wait.
man.
All right, I think that's a good show.
I think it was
That's
a
it.
good
It's a good show.
one. You want me to take it out?
Take it out.
You started. Yeah, let's do it.
Take it out.
You can catch Felix Hergood at twitch.tv /Felix Hergood and
third
Mixer.
person.
And mixer.com/Felix Hergood. But you can also download the Clutch app onto your mobile phone, and
Oh,
I
yeah, I
assume
know.
that's
I
on
downloaded that.
Android. Is
You've
that
been
on
going
Android?
hard on the Clutch app.
Here's the thing. I got into it this week, and I love it. Okay, Clutch is really cool. Search Felix Hergood
It's
on
like
Clutch. You'll
it's a
find me.
game clip.
It is
social media network.
Instagram for game clips, and I am putting some of my greatest hits there, baby. Not just ones where I'm yelly, not just
Sure.
yelly clips. I found like some really funny ones and really skilled ones actually that I did when I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands and like some. Goofy
I saw your one of you hit a guy through the car.
Wasn't that amazing?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I clipped that. That came from Xbox.
That was pretty good.
So I can like put clips from like all these different sources,
Mm-hmm.
and it's multiple consoles you're going to see. So it's pretty cool, and I've already been getting some traction on there. People giving me follows and likes
Nice.
and all that shit. So.
Felix, I signed up, followed you, Diamond.
Yeah, I
Rock.
sent you the link. Yeah.
Yeah, I followed like 3 of you guys, and literally like minutes later, I got like 10 follows.
Yeah.
I didn't post anything. I haven't done my profile.
Oh, there's probably
There's
bots
some
and bullshit.
There's
in
some
there.
console integration too, where it pulls
Okay.
people automatically.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it does that. Yeah,
But yeah, Clutch. Did you say your other things? I forget.
that was it.
Okay.
I said Twitch and Mixer, and then if you're bold, download Clutch, search Felix Hergood.
Got it. Awesome. Guys, I'm Trip Zero. I stream every day on Mixer, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., mixer.com/Trip0TV. All of my socials are also Trip0TV as well. I'm very easy to find. Very active on Instagram and Twitter, so make sure you follow me there, as well as Mixer. And this week we got Most likely doing half and half streams, Destiny 2 for a couple hours because it is the Iron Banner event, and then we're gonna every day try to get in there with Temtem, try to fight the servers and get in there and
Fight that server.
and experience more of this very cool, new, inviting fake Pokemon world.
Fantastic.
Bobo fucking
Bobo
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Bobomon.
Bobomon, I love it.
Bobomon.
I'm NeoYoshi. You can follow me at twitch.tv/NeoYoshi. Twitter, Neo_Yoshi. I'm going to try and... I'm really busy. I can't really stream steadily right now because of life things. But I'm going to prepare for VR streams. Trip, you said you'd
Nice.
help me with that. I
Absolutely.
need some prep work for that.
For sure.
But I want to get it working. And I want to stream some cool VR shit. Like
man.
Half-Life Alyx. Like I do want to like get in there and
At least be ready for that
and
to
be
drop.
ready
Yeah,
for that. Yeah. So I want to play some cool stuff. Monster Hunter Iceborne is a definite happening, depending on this copy that's coming in, which I did not explain in the show, so it'll make no sense to people listening. Pretty much foreign copy, US PS4 issues. That's nutshell. But hopefully the copy is arriving today, and I will be playing Iceborne
Nice.
as well.
Awesome.
So that's
But
that.
yeah, that's the show, guys. Thanks
Cool.
for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. See ya.
See you.